Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're brand new here, my name is Sophia and today we're going to work on this vintage side table which I found on Facebook Marketplace. It's the place that I tend to find really special vintage pieces, and so I tend to go on there first if I'm looking for a project. As you can see, it's got this lovely charming scalloped drawer design. The only thing is, I just feel it needs a little bit more going on. It needs a glow up. So today we're going to do that. We are going to take inspiration from this West Elm piece, and I particularly loved the texture of the woven base, and it gives it a bit more of an old world style that I'm personally quite drawn to, and is going to be a lot more pleasing to the eye. However, I've never done anything like that before. So in this video, I am going to be following a tutorial and attempting to make it look as good as the West Elm one. Fingers crossed. If you're thinking this is looking very brown, I agree. I usually would be happy to just sand it down and restain it. I do have a lot of brown pieces in my home already. So what I thought was really pushing the boat out for me. I'm going to be using a furniture paint instead, and I was inspired by a recent trip to the Cotswolds. I want the woven base to be the thing that sings, the thing that you notice before anything else. Already there's been a few dramas, nothing like a project with a bit of chaos. The handle I originally bought has disappeared, so now we're going to go for this classic gold knob instead, which again isn't really the route I wanted to go down, and I had actually changed my mind on the handle I bought. I actually wanted to go with this Matilda Gold cherry one instead, just to give it a bit of a pop of colour. But hey ho, these things can be changed later on, and the most important thing right now is to start giving this side table the glow up it deserves. Now I have to start by saying a big thank you to JCB Tools for gifting me a few tools in today's video, starting off with this 40-piece accessory set. This particular project has actually taken me a year and a half to complete due to the focus being on the rest of the renovation, and my accessory set has been a trusty side companion throughout all of it. The varnish was so thick on this piece, and to avoid too much sanding, the paint and varnish remover got whipped out immediately. One thing that I have just noticed on the drawer, try not to get all of this stain remover on me, but where the dovetails are, some of them are actually really loose, and I do have some wood glue at home, so I think I'm going to take this back with me tonight and just glue it and reinforce it back together. Because look, it's a little bit, I don't know if you can see that. It's not cool. We need to sort that out. My next job is to wait for that to dry, scrape all of that off. One thing that I did actually forget to bring is the woodworm treatment, which is a bit silly. I don't actually know if there is like active woodworm at the moment. There doesn't seem to be, but just to avoid anything coming back, I'm just gonna put that on and then fill out all of those holes. I'm really excited to scrape all of this stuff off, and already it looks like it's doing something. Like I said a bit earlier in this video, when I first took on this project, I did think I was going to restain it, hence why I went to all of the effort of repeating this whole process. So reapplying the paint and varnish remover, scraping, and even sanding it down with wire wool. But actually the surface is so smooth now, and I feel like it's made quite a big difference to the quality of the finish. So yeah, I'm quite happy I did that. Wow, it's looking really nice already. This next stage of gluing the drawer back together was actually really messy, and it would have been a lot easier to just buy a brand new bottle of wood glue. But I wanted this project to be as cost effective as possible. Now it's time to cut out that base. Thank you again to JCB Tools for gifting me this mixed compact set of metal and wood multi-tool blades, plus their multi-tool. It has an 18-volt lithium-ion battery, so it's long-lasting and you don't have to be constantly charging it. You would have seen I've actually already showcased this tool before, and I really liked the anti-vibration feature. Changing the blade is also very easy. There's no alloy key needed. You simply pull the lever up and over, which opens up the slot. You grab the blade of your choosing, position it within the grooves, pull the lever down and back into the body of the multi-tool. It's as easy as that, and you are ready to go. Of course, protective eyewear is essential. Cutting out the base was actually very satisfying, as all I needed to do was cut along the straight lines of the base and then take out the remaining parts of the base hidden within those slots. I did accidentally nick some of the base frame, so plan to sand down those parts later on. And this is what we're looking like before the crucial part of the transformation. So after a couple of coats of paint, this is now looking very crisp and nicely updated. The colour is called Stone Rosy by Friend Chic, which is a very good furniture paint that I've used before. It's just the colour is a lot lighter than I normally would go, so I'm feeling a little bit out of my depth, but it's fine. The touch of gold actually looks a lot nicer than I was expecting, so that can stay for a little while longer. So now it's time to start working on the woven base. I've chosen the tutorial that I'm going to follow, scraped my hair up. I'm slightly terrified. These things can be undone and there's no pressure. I'm like giving myself a pep talk right now. So the tutorial that I'm going to be following is from the channel POJ Studio. The video is called How to Make the DIY Paper Cord Stool, and I'll be leaving a link to this very video down in the description below so you can also follow along with it. And the first thing we need to do is cut our cord. And I bought this lovely Danish cord off of Etsy. I can also link the exact Etsy shop as well. The stool that this person's working on is roughly the same size as what we're working on today. So I am gonna actually just follow it step by step exactly how they've done it and see what happens. So the first step is, it says pull the cord as fast as you can 10 times. There's the end. 1. Make a loose bundle this way. So it's saying to start on the right side here, which hopefully you can see me. I also just want to say that I'm not using any other tools, like I'm not using clips, I'm not using all the other things that they've said to use, just because I want to see how much they actually come in handy. Take around 5 centimeters of the cord and place it on the seat frame of the wide side. Loop the cord from under and over the cord and the seat frame. The second line of cord wraps under the 5 centimeters of cord. So like that. And finally the third to the 6th line of cord comes on top of the 5. Okay, fine. So I've got 1, 2, that's 3. It says when wrapping, make sure that the cords are pulled tightly. Make sure at this point that the 6 cord lines are compact, tight, and all the way to the right. Nice, I'm happy with that. Turn the cord so the end of the cord that's sticking out is facing inside. Okay, did do this quite tight. Problem is, on their one, they're working on a cylindrical bar, whereas I'm actually working on a square bar. Oh no, it's all getting loose. Okay, so if you are also working on a square bar like I am, I would actually just, if you have them, make use of these slots. Just start from the inside, because that was a little bit faffy, if I'm honest. Right, I feel like we can crack on with the rest of the video now. This set of 6 cords is called Suit Maki. Secure the set of cords with a clip. Okay, I don't have a clip, so this is going to be interesting. It says unravel the cords from the seat frame and bring the bundle of cords to the other side from under the seat frame. Okay, so my bundle is now here. So completely turn it. So going up and over. We're wrapping 6 times. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th line of cord will go across the stool from the top of the seat frame. think I'm supposed to unravel this bit here before we came this side. Okay, we are unravelled. We are back in business. Okay, we're going back over. It's saying at this point you should have 8 lines of cord on your side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we don't. Okay, we actually jumped the gun. So there are 8 cords now on my side. And what it's saying is we're now starting the first weave. So these 2 upper lines, they make up one part of this weave. Okay, we're turning it around again. Turn it around. We're wrapping 6 times and then going across the seat twice. Now, I don't want to celebrate too early here. I think this is looking quite good, you know. Next thing I need to do, which you'll see here, this, I'm going to tighten this, so don't worry. But I have come to the end of this bundle. So I have actually already measured out 10 arm lengths for the next bundle. And now I need to tie them together using something called a reef knot. It'd be a good idea to re-wrap these so they're looking a bit smarter than they are at the moment. I am quite enjoying this. I said I've never done anything like this before, but actually, tell a lie, this is very similar to macrame. And there's been a few times where it's been so repetitive that I could just have some music on or like watch something in the background. Like, it's actually a lot more straightforward than I was expecting it to be. Right, that's looking a lot better. Now this is the end of the new bundle. We're going in and then kind of around. Oh, and then back in, but almost like behind this part of it. I can hear a, oh God, there's wasps coming in. Is it that part? Oh, I think I've actually done it. Yeah, that looks about right. Well, what do you know? Cutting the excess. Yay. Oh God, okay, I need to get rid of this wasp. Crisis averted. So now, now what I'm gonna do is just carry on wrapping until I get to the end of this part of the base. It's very easy so far. Obviously I am aware that we are yet to go over this way, so I don't know what that's gonna be like. But yeah, I'm going to pick you guys up again once I get to the end here, because you don't need to watch me do the same thing 50 bazillion times. So I managed to get the 5 wraps on both sides. The tension isn't great, but considering this is my first time, I'm really proud of this. I did have to add in another reef knot, but now we're going on to the next part of the video. So it's telling me to go over the other side of this piece. So using the 5th wrap, I've gone over like I normally would, but then underneath this part. And so now we're ready to carry on with whatever this is about to tell us to do. You will now start to weave over and under the cross sections you created. Woohoo! She's doing this like a wave. This is like primary school stuff. Okay, are we going over, then under, or under, then over? Going under, then over. It's gonna get really fiddly. Is that right? It wants me to pull all of it through. Oh, schnapps. This is actually gonna have to be completely flat, I fear. See you in a bit. Okay. We got there. So now it's saying, oh God, like a little troll under my bridge. It's cozy. On the belly side, start by weaving around the first cord line. Continue thereafter by going over and under each cross section or 2 cord lines. So, okay. Oh, okay, I get that. Going over and then under the two at a time, basically. Shouldn't take long at all, she says. Okay, pull the rest of the paper cord. Okay, this is the bit that's going to take the longest. So I actually need to go. All right, I got too excited. I need to go over. No, I need to go under, then over the bar, and then I start the next weave. This it's oh, I just banged my head on the thing. Right, so we're actually following the same pattern that we did on the top. Okay, so for the next weave, we're actually alternating. So I've started off by going under, but now for this one, I'm going over. I have a fear it's going to take me all evening, just because it's 20 to 5 right now. And judging the thickness of the cord, yeah, which I'm not complaining about, I'm actually kind of enjoying this. It's like a bit of a, oh God, I pulled it all through way too early. I'm too impatient. Right, now we can bring everything else through. I'm not gonna lie, my fingers are actually starting to hurt a little bit from this cord. It's not too painful, but I'm very aware that I've been, you know, shuffling it along and moving it around, and it is actually starting, yeah, starting to hurt a little bit. But it's lovely, it feels really high quality. Right, tell me what the next thing is. This creates an intricate woven pattern. It certainly does. The 4 cord lines where 2 cords start under the, oh my God, what? Oh no, I've just gone on something completely different. No, what do you mean? Oh God, she's going ahead. The 4 cord lines where 2 cords start under and the other 2 start over the first cross section account for 1 set. Oh, she's gone ahead. Oh, I kind of get it though. She is just going ahead like she's done this so many times before. She doesn't care. She's not waiting for us. I feel like I know where this is going wrong now. Not gonna lie, I just had a bit of a panic because I was thinking for a second that we were weaving the bottom layer or the belly side and the top side together at some point. I was just like, whoa, it doesn't look like that. But actually I'm doing it right. It's just, again, this bar is quite tall compared to the one that they're using. So we're fine. Just need to like trust the tutorial will tell me what I need to know. I'll see you very soon when I'm a little bit more into this, because this is pretty self-explanatory. 2 cords are going one way and then the other 2 cords are going the alternate way. It's very simple, it's just very fiddly. So here it is, the finished article in situ. Ta-da! It looks so good. I'm really proud of this. Initially, I thought I was going to put this in one of our bedrooms, but actually I really like how sweet it looks right there. And it's nice to have somewhere to put my oversized vase. It's been quite hard to put it somewhere just because it's so big. And I really like all of this varying height. Oh, I'm just so proud of myself, and I'm glad that I threw myself in. And I hope if you are also trying to get yourself into weaving for the first time, I hope this has given you the motivation to do it, because once you've figured out what you're doing, you're just repeating it again and again, and it is so simple. I'm not gonna lie though, my fingers are slightly swollen, but it's completely worth it. Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed today's video, and I shall see you again for more crafts, more renovation this year and beyond. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.